Most of you are familiar with the long division of ordinary numbers, but in this video, I will explain how to do the long division of algebraic expressions. Like in this case, we have 4x cubed plus 6x squared plus 8 being divided by x plus 2. This is our dividend. This is our dividend, the number that we're going to divide into. And this is our divisor. If we divide the dividend by the divisor, we get what we call a quotient. Unless x plus 2 is a factor of 4x cubed plus 6x squared plus 8, if it is a factor, we get a remainder of 0, or we don't have a remainder. But if it is not a factor, we are also going to get a remainder. So I'm going to explain all the steps that you should take when you're doing the long division of algebraic expressions. Let me clear my board and rearrange these in the format that we use when doing long division. So I'm going to write my divisor as x plus 2. Then under this sign, I'm going to write my dividend. So this is my dividend. I'll write it here. Pay attention to certain adjustments that I'm going to make. So it is 4x cubed plus 6x squared plus 8. You have to do something before you start your long division. First, look at your divisor. Make sure it is written in decreasing powers of x. So if we had x squared, x, and a constant, we write it in x squared coming first, and x, then a constant. So as it is now, it is proper, it's fine, because this is x to the power 1, and 2 has x to the power 0, obviously. But so it is clear like that. It's fine like that. There's no problem with our divisor. Then we go to our dividend. On our dividend, we should also arrange it in decreasing powers of x. I'm happy here that we have x. This is x to the power 3. That's okay. This is x to the power 2. That's okay. But we don't have x to the power 1. See, we don't have x to the power 1 is missing. It's not here. And here we have 8, obviously, times x to the power 0. So there is a problem here. There is a missing power of x. So every time you do long division of algebraic expressions, make sure that every power of x is represented in your dividend. Every power of x is represented in your dividend. Because we don't have power x, we are going to put a placeholder, which means we're going to write 0x plus 8. This is a very important step. Make sure your divisor and your dividend are written properly in decreasing powers of x. On your dividend, make sure that the highest power to the lowest power, every power is represented. If a power is missing, use a placeholder. So if there is no x squared, you are going to put 0x squared. But in this case, we don't have x, so we wrote 0x. That's our placeholder. Once we're done with arranging our divisor and our dividend, we can now start our long division. This is how we do our long division. We take the first term here on our divisor. It divides into the first term here on our dividend. So the first thing that we do is division. We're going to do division. X into 4x cubed, or 4x cubed divided by x, we get 4x squared. We write the 4x squared here. Then 4x squared times x. Now the next thing is multiplication. So after dividing, we do multiplication. 4x squared times this x here, we get 4x cubed. Then 4x squared times the 2 here, 4x squared times this 2 here, we get positive 8x squared. After the multiplication, we do subtraction. So we subtract. This is how we do our subtraction. Please take note of the signs, because if you make a mistake there, your answer will not come right. Every time you do the subtraction, the terms on your left, like these terms like 4x cubed and the 4x cubed, will always vanish. The highest power there will always vanish. Every time you do your subtraction, it will always vanish. If it doesn't, it means you're not doing the right thing. It is always vanishing. So here 4x cubed minus 4x cubed, it vanishes, it becomes a 0. Then we have 6x squared minus 8x squared. We get, so if we do this, we get a minus 2x squared. We write the minus 2x squared. After this subtraction, we drop something. So in this case, we're going to drop this 0x, which is plus 0x. After the dropping, we go again. So this is like iterative. We divide, we multiply, we subtract, we drop something, then we go back again. So now we're going to start here at division. As usual, we take the first term here, divide into the first term here. So x into 2x squared, x into minus 2x squared, we get minus 2x. Minus 2x. We have done our division. Next thing is the multiplication. So we multiply the term that we just wrote here times our divisor. So minus 2x times x, we get minus 2x squared. Minus 2x times the 2, here we get minus 4x. After multiplication, we go to subtraction. So we're going to subtract here. As usual, the terms to the left will always disappear. So minus 2x squared minus 2x squared, it becomes a 0. And then we have 0x minus 4x. 0x minus 4x, we get a positive 4x. We have done our subtraction. The next thing is to drop. We're dropping here 8 plus 8. After dropping, we go back to division again. So x into 4x, we get 4, positive 4. So this is plus 4. 4 times x, we get a 4x. 4 times 2, we get a positive 8. Then we subtract. If we subtract here, we get a 0. The number that we get here at the end is our remainder. So this is our remainder. I want to label all these things that we have. This is our remainder. What we have here on top is our quotient. This is our quotient. I said this is our divisor. So x plus 2 is our divisor. And this one is our dividend. All of this 4x cubed plus 6x squared, we call that the dividend. No, there's a D here. It's called the dividend. We're done. We're getting a remainder of 0 because x plus 2 is a factor of 4x cubed plus 6x squared plus 8. That is why our remainder is 0. But if it was not a factor, we were going to find a remainder, which was going to be something else. This is how you do long division of algebraic terms. This is how you do long division of algebraic expressions. If you have any question, please just type them in the comment section below, But I want to do another example and show you how you do this. Again, I'm just going to do another example and explain this. So your quotient is there and your remainder is here. How you use this depends on the situation that you have. If you are doing factorization, obviously you now know that this divisor times the quotient is equals to the dividend if you're doing factorization. So long division itself, the long division of algebraic expressions, is quite useful in many topics in mathematics. So for now, I'm just teaching you how to do the long division. But if you are using it in doing partial fractions or you're using it in factorization, it doesn't matter. This is how you do it. And how you use your answers, your quotient and your remainder depends on the topic that you're doing. So now let's do another example. This time we have 3x cubed. So I have 3x cubed plus 2x squared plus 4x minus 6. All this is being divided by x plus 3. If you look at this, situation, let's look at our dividend. The dividend is already in the right format. Every power of x is represented from the highest power, which is 3, to the lowest power, which is power 0. We have x cubed, we have x squared, we have x, and we have a constant. So everything is represented here. We don't have a problem. All we need to do is to rewrite. Let's rewrite our equation. I'm going to rewrite it in this form. So it's 3x squared plus 2x squared. So our divisor comes here, x plus 3, and then it's dividing into 3x cubed plus 2x squared plus 2x squared plus 4x minus a 6. Okay, let me remove this. All right. So let's do our long division. Everything is proper here. The divisor is written properly and the dividend is also written properly. So we can start our division. X into 3x cubed, we get 3x squared. We write it here. So this is the multiplication. This is the division stage. After dividing, we multiply our 3x squared. It is multiplying the divisor here. So 3x squared times x, we get 3x cubed. 3x squared times 3, we get positive 9x squared plus 9x squared. After doing the multiplication, we go to subtraction. So we subtract this. Every time we subtract, these terms to the left always fall away. So 3x cubed minus 3x cubed, it's 0. They go. 2x squared minus 9x squared, we get minus 7x squared, minus 7x squared. Once you do your subtraction, the next thing is dropping. So we're dropping a positive, a plus 4x. After dropping, we iterate. We go back to the division. So x into minus 7x squared. We always divide this first term here into the first term here. Always. That's what we do. So x into minus 7x squared. The answer is minus 7x. Then we do the multiplication. Minus 7x times x, we get minus 7x squared. Minus 7x times 3, we get a minus 21x So this is minus 21x. After the multiplication, we do subtraction once again. Minus 7x squared minus 7x squared, we get a 0. As usual, these powers there always fall away. Then 4x minus 21x is like 4x plus 21x. This is 25x. After the subtraction, we drop. So we're dropping minus a 6. Then we do division again. X into 25x, we get plus 25. 25 times x, we get 25x. Then 25 times 3, we get 75, positive 75 plus 75. Then we subtract again. 25x minus 25x, we get a 0. Then minus 6 minus 75, this is minus 81. We stop here because we can no longer divide by our x, whatever we have here after subtraction, and we also have nothing to drop again. So we are done. This is our remainder. So this one, we have a remainder here. That is our remainder. And so that is our remainder. And this is our divisor, obviously. And this is our quotient. What we have here is our quotient. And this was our dividend. This is how you do in a long division of algebraic expressions. You divide, you subtract, you drop something, you divide again, you divide, you multiply, you subtract, you drop something. Okay, so let me write the steps here. You divide, and please note how you do the division. The first term goes into this first term here. Every time you divide, you're taking the first term on your divisor, dividing into the first term. After the subtraction, obviously, it will be into that expression that you have after subtraction. You divide in the first term of that. So you divide, then you multiply. So you divide, you get something. What you get, you write it here. And then you multiply whatever you had, the term, times this divisor here. So you divide and you do multiplication. After doing that, you subtract. After subtraction, you drop something. Then you go again. So it's like iterative. This is how you do your work. You divide, multiply, subtract, drop. You go back, you divide, multiply, subtract, drop until you can no longer divide. Then what you have at the bottom is your remainder. This is your divisor. This is your quotient. This is your dividend, the number you are dividing into. Don't forget that when you write your dividend, it is written in decreasing powers of x. So the highest power followed by the next power. Every power should be represented. If there is a missing power, you use a placeholder for that. Any missing power, you put a placeholder. Otherwise, thank you for watching the video. If you have any comments, just write in the comment section below. Otherwise, thank you.